What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another hate-filled episode of the Center Beacon. Today we are dealing with top fives. This may be a new series for the channel. I'm not sure. Let me know what you think. Top 5 weapons you are not leveling but should be. Okay, you can see on the image here we've got some kind of unusual suspects, I guess you would say here. You can see we've got the single Millat, the Hydra, the twin Millat, the Twolumbus, and one of my favorites, the Punisher. Okay, with changes coming to the live servers shortly, I think that a few of these are going to be particularly good. Some of them are already good, like the Twolumbus. I think you guys know those are already good, but I don't see a whole lot of them, and I kind of feel like we're maybe not paying close attention to them. So here's my top 5 weapons you're not leveling but should be. Number 5. Don't get scared. That was me. That was not a professional actor hired to say that. That was just me. Okay, so here we have the Hydra. Okay, previously the Hydra was god-awful. Okay, absolutely terrible. You would have been better off flushing your workshop points down the toilet, donating them to charity, or pretty much doing anything else rather than buy the Hydra. But now, I know it's frightening. It doesn't make sense. It concerns us. The thing is actually good. There are a few freaks out there who were kind of ahead, and I say that lovingly, were kind of ahead of the curve, and they've got these things, and you can tell they're leveled, and they're putting them on Fujins, and I tell you what, this thing, when you let this bad boy off the chain, and you're on the receiving end, it's kind of like getting hit in the head with a sledgehammer over and over and over again. The cool thing about these is, too, is you can see on the right side of the screen there, you don't have to fire them all at once. It's not like a spiral or an aphid where, like, you know, once you let that bad boy go, you know, you're on a reload. You can get a couple of these shots in. Maybe the target moves. He's back behind cover. You can wait. So you've got some options with these things. 600-meter range. You can see basically what I was doing here is just getting different angles for you to see. Like, you know, these things, they go kind of straight up, you know. You can't get right up against a building. I tried that and kind of let them go. You got to have a little bit of clearance. Full disclosure here, these are only level 1. I know, sad, pathetic, noob sauce. But I'm silver poor, and I don't have the time to level all this crap. And now that, like, I make these videos, you know, I want to be able to show everybody stuff and kind of, like, you know, put in my 2 cents. But I sadly don't have everything, you know, fully maxed, which would be nice. But I felt like if you've played against it, you know what I'm talking about. Since they got buffed, like, I don't know what it was, a couple of months ago, they received a buff. If you played against it, you know it's annoying, and therefore it's probably somewhat effective. So give this Hydra a look, and consider adding it into you know, your support bots. I know if some of you guys, you know, you run good teams, a good support bot can really come in handy. So think about it as an artillery option, and also a great counter to the triple Trident Furies. You can see some kind of direct fire action here. You know, they tend to kind of go a little straighter there towards the target when he's actually a direct line of sight from you. But consider this one. Number 4. Okay, so Millat T coming in at number 4. I know you're probably thinking, like, why isn't this ranked higher? It's basically because of the types of bots that are available to put these things on. Yes, absolutely, you could run 3 of these on a Fujin. I didn't want to show that again, so I thought I'd show something else. I like the mobility of the Griffin for virtually anything you want to put on this guy. But I actually do like the single Millats a little better, just because I feel like there's more versatility with the different bots that we have to choose from, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later. But definitely consider the Millat T as a long range, intermediate to long range, I should say, support bot. 800 meter range, and this clip again is from test server, so this is with the 2.6 times damage multiplier. This has the increased rate of fire after 3 seconds, it ramps up to a what we would call like a cyclic rate of fire, and it's nasty. So I really am liking the Millat T. It just, and for me, it doesn't come in ranked higher just simply because of the different types of bots that the medium weapons mount to. And I feel like maybe there are better options for different circumstances. But as a support bot, I like it coming in at a solid number 4 here. But I mean, you can see how like, some of these guys, that last guy was bladed to me. You just chew him up. I think it was a Galahad or something. These two guys underneath the center beacon there, I'm eating them up. It'll eat the shield off of this guy really nicely here. You'll see if he even still has a shield. But when I get a reload going here, it's going to chew that shield up pretty good, and it's going to get rid of the rest of that guy's actual hit point pool. So consider these. And if you don't have some kind of lurking around 9 or 10, you might want to start leveling them up, okay? So we're going to move on to the next weapon. Number 3. Don't be scared. It's still just me doing that. Okay, so this one's really obvious. The Twolumbus. I think everyone knows these are pretty good, but I'm liking these on the Fujin. These are not all max. 2 of these are 12. The other one's like 7 or something, so that's why this guy's still alive. This is a really great weapon. The 500-meter range can be problematic, but you cannot go wrong with the Twolumbus. So if you don't already have a couple of these, I suggest 2 or 3 at least. And I think you're going to like these. So a little perhaps underrated, but we're getting to a little bit more popular weapons here. Number 2. All right, so running a Leo here, the regular single light Punisher. This is live, so this doesn't have the benefit of the 2.6 times damage multiplier or the increased rate of fire. This is on live as it sits currently, but you can see it's still pretty decent. This guy is going to move because he really gets tired of eating all those rounds that I'm putting on him. I don't know, quarter health, something like that. And the Thunder's not really doing much for me there at a few hundred meters range. But if you get in close with these Punishers, more of the rounds will hit and obviously have a greater effect on the target. And then that's where the Thunder or whatever else it is that you want to run really starts to come into play. With the Punishers as well, once I feel like it's going to happen here shortly. Once we get the next update, if they bring online the damage multiplier to physical shields, the increased rate of fire, I think these things are going to be nasty. And when you start walking into a triple Punisher, Leo, it won't be terribly dissimilar to what we see now with when this guy's running pinatas. It's going to be one of those deals where you're going to turn the corner and you're going to go, oh, crap. So, enjoyed this one, even though, again, these Punishers, just for kind of like reference, level 9, I think, thereabouts. So, still, quite a bit of potential left on the table kind of thing. If they were maxed, you'd be seeing quite a bit more damage. But, it was a very playable bot, even with these things at level 9. And with what they've got planned for the kinetic weapons, the ballistic weapons, if you will, I think it's going to be great. So, let's see. We're going to finish this out here. I think that's one of my little clan buddies over there. But you can see here, again, this is going to be like the last little bit of damage I'm going to be able to do. I'm going to start losing weapons. Oh, I'm down to 1 and none. And now there's pretty much no more point in this clip. So we're going to move on to the number 1 weapon you're not leveling but should be. Number 1. The Light Millat. Yeah. Okay. Surprise. These things are going to be amazing. I've been loving these on test server. This is on live, so that's why I'm running a Zeus. The trick here is going to be complementing this setup on this bot with his newfound speed, one of the highest health pools in the game, and the new heavy weapon prototype, the one that I lovingly refer to as the Reaper. The combo is just incredibly effective on test server, even though they kind of did me dirty and they reduced its rate of fire slightly. It's still really good. There's an overlap when you use this, which you'll see in like another clip that I'm going to show you. You can see here I'm kind of in a little bit of a range duel with this guy. These Millats, they're only level 9, I think, and the Zeus, I think, is level 10. So unfortunately, again, this stuff isn't maxed, which, isn't ideal, but you can get a good sense of the effects I'm having on the target already with, 4 weapons here that still have a lot of damage potential being left on the table because they're not maxed out. So we're going to continue to kind of push over here. I kind of liked I had this Carnage Zeus with me. And we're kind of tearing this guy up over here that kind of had the run of this end of the battlefield as far as range went. You can see he's got, got some Gecko action there. He's got a Treb. I think it was a Natasha. I can't remember. But you could tell his weapons were hitting hard. This Leo, I think, is only level 9, so... And again, for a lot of you guys, like most of the stuff I play with, like on live when I'm actually trying to win, it's pretty much all maxed. So, but I know that's not always the case with a lot of you guys playing in gold tier. So, for those of you that are still kind of like have sub-maximal hangers, this will give you a good idea of what to expect. But then remember to include the fact that shortly here, and I feel like it's going to be coming like any day, any maybe in the next week or two. That the update's going to drop, and we're going to get those enhanced ballistic weapons. Because the other night we were playing, and it was like the game was strangely unavailable. Matchmaker has been acting wonky as all get out. Like the matches I've been having lately with a max gold hanger just have been ridiculous. I mean, it's almost like you're playing with like day one players all of a sudden, and the other team is like stacked with with like the Paxonic All Stars or something. I'm not sure what's going on with Matchmaker, but normally from my experience, when the game gets wonky, it means they're pushing stuff to the like live code. So we'll see, what happens if that's indeed what they're doing is prepping for the next update. But once you get that in place, you're going to have all the benefits of the stuff that's been on test server that we've been enjoying for the last several weeks, and I think it's going to be amazing. So hence this top 5 list. I'm just going to run this clip here to kind of cap it. This is from test server from a few weeks ago with the same setup, but this is the one that you're really, I think, going to want to save. Whatever it is, I'm hoping it's workshop points, but whatever it is, set some gold aside, set some workshop points aside, and you're going to want to pick up, I plan on picking up 3 of these things, because I think as long as they don't dial it down anymore, let me caveat that. Let me put a safety warning up on the screen here. As long as they don't dial it down any further, I think this is going to be an excellent setup. Basically, anything that you want to do with this new prototype, you're going to be able to do. It's a great counter to the Triple Trident Fury, and also a great counter even for the Trebuchet. The Trebuchet Fury, once he lets those things off the chain, I mean, he's got 23 seconds for another full charge shot. For this guy here, that's like, I mean, I think you could probably make it through like, 2 full magazines for all these weapons and then a reload and hit that dude again before he's, recharged his Prius batteries there to hit you again with anything effective. Because we know that, when those Trebuchets, once you kind of like, blow your load, so to speak, family channel, can't go into any more details, but that's it. You get this kind of like you saw it there at the end there, it was kind of like, pff, you get this poof effect, and it's completely ineffective. I just kept this going because here's another really cool setup, especially once again, the robot gods have favored us with a Natasha that can actually kind of get out of its own way now. He got the speed boost too, and a couple of the heavies combined with 2 of the single Millats was a really effective combo. For whatever reason, I tend to prefer the Leo, deeper hit point pool, and more speed. But this also on test server was a really nice combination. You got 2 of the prototype heavies, and like I've been telling you guys before, there's a really neat overlap between the heavies and the light Millats. So when one weapon system goes dry, the other is still hot. Still has a few more rounds in the magazine. I believe the heavy prototype, the magazine is not quite as large as you can see. I'm firing it there and how quickly it's going down. It's not quite the same size as the light Millats, so you end up getting a little bit of overlap. And of course, you can induce that on your own, as a lot of guys do, where you fire one, you lay off of the other, and that way you've constantly, there's always something's hot. Something on your loadout is hot and you can deal damage, and sometimes that's all you need to finish a guy off. But this is another very viable combo, especially when they push these changes to live. So, kind of a bonus to this top 5 list is if you've got, a Leo or a Natasha laying around you've not been running or isn't maxed, invest a couple of days in it, bump him up another couple of levels, because I think you're going to find that you like the options that it's going to give you on the live servers. So that is pretty much the gist of the top 5 list. I'm going to do a few more of these top 5s, because when I was doing this, I actually thought of a couple other things that I'm like, sometimes other players do things, that kind of I'm going to be kind and just say perplex us. And it might be good to have a list of those things that those players do, and just a couple of different things that kind of I see in the game, and I'm just going to put together a quick video and just kind of count them down, and we can kind of all gather around the campfire and relate type of thing. You can see here I'm having really great effects on the target. That's a Lancelot over there. I'm not sure if I popped that guy or not, but, they're taking that damage. And then I go from something that's, coming up right on me to all the way across the other side of the screen. And I have no idea. I don't think those were actual Pixonic guys. I mean, maybe they were. I don't know. Whether they were or not, it doesn't really matter. But you can see the capability this thing gives you, This guy, 400 meters. That other guy was 750. That other guy under the center beacon there, a few hundred. I found this to be really effective. And, sometimes how it is, we get bored of running, 3, 4, 5 rhinos, 3, 4, 5 Lancelots. And it makes for a really nice change of pace. So down there at the sharp end, you can see that is a triple something Fury. I don't know if that was a Zeus or what. Now you can see he's in what we call a cone of fire, and he just got absolutely demolished. But that's, again, when I play gold on live right now, when you see, that triple trident Fury, I mean, it's just man, you just kind of want to head the other way, because he's going to dominate, his little sector of fire. 600 meter range, currently there's not a lot, that competes with it. You got the trebuchet, you have Millats and whatnot, such as they are on live, but they don't have the same DPS that they're going to have here shortly when they get an increased firing rate. So, that guy is kind of ruling the intermediate battlefield, and he's a real bear to deal with. So that's why I'm kind of excited about these weapons, and I've been doing so many videos on this stuff of what's coming up, because I want everybody to get ahead of the trend on this thing. Because I'm certainly, going to devote some resources to leveling these weapons. Fortunately, I've already got sets of 3 of all of these things, and I think they're all kind of hovering around 9 or 10. From what I lovingly call my noob days, where it was cool, machine guns, max those out. And then, come to find out once you start playing, it's ooh, these are actually terrible. So here I'm running them on a Galahad just to kind of give you another, perspective on this thing. And I've talked about this in other videos, the recent Galahad video that I did. This is a really neat combo where you can use this guy's speed and protection to kind of maneuver around the battlefield, get from point A to point B very quickly, but you're bringing a lot of firepower to the table. And you can see here, obviously, I'm a little close. I'm kind of in, point blank weapons range here. But this map at this point, isn't, the gap here. It just isn't that far. So, you can see here too is that overlap between the twin and the lights. You're chewing that guy up, and then here come your lights back online. and able to still like rip into this guy. And you see that shield disappears. If I'm not mistaken, that was all Millat from my bot there that just ripped that guy's shield apart and then got right back into the meat of that Fujin there. So that's going to be pretty much it for this top 5 weapons that you're probably not leveling but should be. I'm going to take you through a couple little additional clips here just to kind of show you up close what we're talking about. We're going to kind of review. We've got the Hydra, which I was bringing in at number 5. Again, it's not going to be like a billion damage a game, but very effective, especially on a good team. Then we're going to take a look at number 4 was the Twolumbus, which this does get some love in gold tier. You do see these, but I think it's a little underrated. The splash damage area of effect on these is really, really good. A good counter if you can get in within 500 meters of a trident. And then we've got this was the Millat T coming in at number 3, and the single light Punisher at number 2, because I think he's going to give you a lot of versatility. It goes on a lot of different robots. If speed's your thing, then here's your weapon. 500 meter range, it's going to be awesome when it hits live with the update. And then finally, we've got the single light Millat, and I just, I love it, and I think you guys should check it out. I'll see you next time at the Center Beacon.